All right, we've all heard it before. Analysis, paralysis, or paralysis analysis, however the heck you want to say it. It's really it's the killer of all productivity. And unfortunately, we are all open to it. There's no immunity to it. There's no stopping it. Every single one of us out there is subject to getting paralysis analysis. So if we can all get it, it just comes down to what is it that we're going to do when it triggers and when it gets into it. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. The power of the saying, done is better than perfect. Welcome to episode 22 of the Shawn Tiberio Show, where, quite frankly, I'm here to do one thing only, and that is to give you real talk. Not the stuff that you want to hear, but what it is that you need to hear to elevate and grow as an entrepreneur. Now, as I said, we've all heard it. We've all actually probably been a victim of paralysis analysis at some point in our life or in our career. We've all had those moments where we just kind of got stumped, or we start to overthink anything. And before we even dive into what the power of the methodology or the mindset of done is better than perfect is today, and we're going to get into why it's so powerful. But more importantly, how do you embrace it? How do you use it? How do you kind of mold yourself, or kind of just bring this idea of done is better than perfect and execute on it? Because hearing it and understanding it's one thing, but actually truly executing on it is another piece of it. And right in line with what we're talking about, for those of you that are trying to build a business right now, you're trying to scale your business, you're looking to take everything that you're doing to another level and just really amplify the impact that your business is having out there. I encourage you, go check out our report on the 5 secrets that any business needs to really truly fill a funnel and really just truly generate non-stop leads on it. You guys can get that at the link that you see popping up here on the screen right underneath me, topresultsconsulting.com/secrets. It's 5 simple secrets. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to be paralyzed by trying to figure this out. Just go get the report. We lay it out exactly. What the heck are these secrets? How do you execute on them? And immediately start seeing results. So let's talk a little bit here about this whole mindset of done is better than perfect. And before I even get into some of my points, we've all heard it. We've all, somebody along the way at some point has told us, just get it done. Who cares if it's absolutely perfect? And I get, there's points where we want something to be the absolute best. Like we just want our 100% top piece to come out. And unfortunately, when we fall into that, we tend to actually not produce some of our best work. I'll give you an example, like a real life current example at the time of recording this episode, or if you're watching it on YouTube, this video. There's a lot going on right now with us and in our business and with the different things going on. And we're finally getting out of some of the COVID-19 kind of lockdown. Things are starting to open back up. My girlfriend and I, we were enjoying getting back out, doing the things that we love to do. And yet there's a lot of stuff going on the business side. And there's a lot of things that I need to be doing, producing, making, right? Creating of not just these episodes here like this, but other content for our clients, creating courses, creating trainings that we do every single week with our clients. there's been a lot going on, and myself personally, I've fallen into this from time to time, where it's like, and I tell Roger this all the time, like, man, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and we got to get this piece and this piece and this piece, and there's been times where I had to smack myself and just kind of sit back and be like, dude, just get it out there, just get something, right? Get it done, and then we'll come back to it, and you can get the more perfect aspect to it, or just get it up, and then we can always add, or you're ready for this, so let's just do it and then go. And I get it. We're all subject to falling in to that category. However, this episode's designed for those that really truly struggle with this and know it. And if you're sitting here listening to this right now or watching this video right now and you're like, yep, that's me. I fall into it all the time and I'm ending up not getting anything done because I try to make everything so perfect all the time. Or I question every step of the way and I don't just move forward with what I do know. Well, stay tuned because we're about to dive into some things that are going to help you with it. Now, here's the problem with trying to make everything perfect. Again, there's so much going on out there in the business space. If you're a business that really heavily lives on the content marketing aspect and creating content, there's a lot of content out there. And you're probably not the only person in your niche creating content. However, we can't make it perfect because perfect creates paralyzation or paralysis. So we know that we can't go perfect because if we do, we'll actually never get there. And what happens is we end up freezing and we start to question, is this good enough? When we're comparing what it is that we're trying to do against perfection, you got to ask yourself, can you ever really get perfection? But I'm not saying cut corners. I'm not saying go cheap. I'm not saying do kind of, second-rate work. Make it good, but be okay that, you know what, I could have done this better. Or I do this all the time. I get done with these videos and I'm watching them back, before they get posted or whatever, after all the edits are done and stuff. And I'm like, man, I could have said something else there. Oh, darn, that was another story that I thought of. Or, that was another point that I could have added in. Who cares? Who cares? Just it's done, right? It's up. It's up there and it's out. Because if I would have stopped right there and said, let me re-record this one because I should have done this or I should have added this. Then all of a sudden, I watched that one again and I'm like, oh crap, but I forgot. I got what I wanted to add in, but I completely forgot that other stuff that I had in the first one that was really, really good, that I liked. So I'll go try it again. And it's just this never ending pattern underneath it. And what also kicks in is what I call the failure cycle. And here's where this whole done is better than perfect helps with the failure cycle. The failure cycle is simply this. It's nothing more than we get incredibly excited. So we start this kind of like skyrocketing forward, upward kind of, think of like a spaceship launching. We're a rocket ship going straight to the sky because we're excited about whatever it is, a new project, a new deal, a new client, whatever the case it is in your business. We're incredibly excited about it, right? Then this whole method or this whole concept of, holy crap, I've got to be so perfect. There's so much going on. I got to stand out from the crowd. I got to make all this, I got to look professional. I got to be professional. I got to change this with my business. What if my client thinks this? I got to have X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, and F all in a row ready to roll. Oh, crap. And now we start to avoid. And we start to go into this whole other direction. Like the spaceship starts to turn. And it's not going towards space anymore. It's kind of hanging on to the horizon. And it's just going to go riding around the world at this point. And then that avoidance phase doesn't last very long because we're literally avoiding it. We're in a paralysis state. We're avoiding it. We know what we need to be doing, but we're just second guessing everything. So we're not doing anything. We're avoiding what it is that we need to know. And a couple weeks go by and all of a sudden we're like, crap, I didn't get it done. I didn't do this. Or somebody calls us out on it. And Oh, yeah. And then before you know it, you're making excuses. I've been busy. I've been tired. I've had a lot going on. I had technology issues. I didn't like it. It wasn't the right color, whatever the case is, right? And before long, that phase comes. It's like, a shower needs to happen and you're stinking like crazy of excuses. So you just turn around and start blaming. I didn't know enough, or it wasn't the right topic, or whatever. I didn't have this done or this set up, or I forgot my password to log in, or I was sick, or what, you're blaming everything other than the fact that you just overthought it. You just went a little too deep into the thought process and just let it consume you. And this right here is the breeder of procrastination. The biggest breeder of procrastination is overthinking and feeling like everything's got to be perfect. And we'll do a whole other episode on just how to battle the procrastination mindset and that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, trying to be perfect, trying to make everything perfect, trying to make everything out there that you do, your entire business perfect, only creates this paralysis state. Now, so what about this done is better than perfect side? If perfect creates paralysis and done is better than that, meaning just do it, just get it done, and that's better than that, how is it? How is it that done is better than perfect? Perfect sounds like, well, it's perfect. That's where it should be at. The reason done is better than perfect, and one way to kind of understand this and embrace this, if you're willing to put what you need to put out there and just be like, okay, it's done. Go back to the video example. I've got a handful of videos out there, both here on this YouTube channel, episodes like this, that if you guys are listening on iTunes or Spotify or any of that stuff, I've got episodes galore out there. Heck, even this episode right here, I may look back after I'm done recording it and be like, it wasn't the best. Or I kind of should have added X, Y, and Z or done something different to it. It doesn't matter. The fact that I'm able to put that out there, and if you guys embrace it the same way and just say, you know what, screw it, done, it's out there. I'm going to do whatever. It's a marketing campaign. It's a podcast episode if you're recording your own. It's a video that you're going to do. It's something that you're putting up to your website. We deal with this with our clients all the time. It takes them months and months and months to send us an About Us page. It's like, just send us something. We can always tweak that later or change that, or it's not like it's going to be, or I say this one all the time, just because we put it up there today doesn't mean a million people are going to see it tomorrow. The idea is just get something up there. Now, by being able to embrace that and me being able to sit here and say, just do it, just get something done, it's because I'm confident in my own self. It's because I'm confident in my own work. I'm willing to stand behind what it is that I put out there and be open to say, constructively criticizing my own self as I am here on this episode, that, hey, I've screwed up before, or hey, I didn't put out the best content in different pieces, or hey, I didn't write the best blog article, or hey, guess what? I screwed up that training or that funnel or that webinar or that sales call or that client meet. I screwed it up. I could have been better. Now, did I screw it up to the point to where it was a complete hodgepodge and a mess? No. Now, if I was sitting here and I was stuttering every other word and I was sweating bullets and I was deathly afraid of the camera that's sitting in front of me or the microphone that's right in front of my mouth, and I couldn't, and the whole episode sounded something like that, then yeah, redo it. But the fact that you can embrace the done is better than perfect piece is just you saying to your own self, screw what everybody else says. Who cares what they think? Because you're able to acknowledge that their thoughts are, yeah, I 100% agree with you. I could have been better. I 100% agree that could have been different. You're right. I could have actually said that or put that into it. Or you know what? I did. My favorite one is, and some of you guys that know me well enough or have seen me in person and heard me speak, at live events, you know that when I started speaking, when I started getting up in front of people on stages and talking, one of my biggest fears was writing something on a board, right? Whether it's a whiteboard, a white, chart, a paper chart, you flip through it. That was my biggest fear in the world. Give me slides, give me just a stage and people in front of me and just have me talk kind of like this right here. I'm not drawing anything. I'm not writing anything. Perfectly fine. But you put something in front of me, and sometimes my biggest fear is writing. And it's because I completely suck at spelling. And I know that. And I've worked on it over the years. I'm constantly trying to learn how to remember new words or remember how to spell words that I know I misspell quite frequently so that I can get better. And I've been getting better with that. But even to this day, that's a huge fear of mine, of writing something on a board and misspelling it in front of everybody. And it took a little bit of time for me to embrace and say, you know what, screw it. Screw it. Matter of fact, it was one of my mentors that told me if you write the word the same way every single time, you're actually just lacking creativity. So get creative, Shawn, and write it however the heck you want to write it. And I make a joke out of that now. But, that to be able to stand there on stage and write that stuff, it's just embracing the confidence that I have in my own self. So ask yourself, the next time you feel that paralysis kicking in and you realize that you're kind of overanalyzing or you're getting a little bit of procrastination stepping in, ask yourself, am I confident in my own self? Because if I'm confident in my own self, then I'm confident enough to put this out there. I'm confident enough to give what I got to do or kind of let it out into the marketplace on it. And, we spend a lot of time on this show talking really around the business side and things to help you grow and scale and elevate your own self as a business owner and an entrepreneur. But this concept can go even farther than that. And, you're trying to design the perfect whatever, the perfect date, the perfect proposal. You want to create the perfect dish when you're cooking. It may not happen, but hey, you embrace that. I'm confident enough in myself to know that, all right, cool. I managed to get this done. And at least it's out there. And it's your way of remembering or embracing that perfection is impossible. It's never going to be there. And I'm bringing this up because I've seen it a lot, or I've been hearing it a lot. And I get this question a lot. A lot of people text or message or, comment in different groups or whatever. And they're like, or I'll ask the question, especially of our clients, we spend a lot of time teaching them. And then we ask the question, okay, who's taking action? Who's doing it? Who's putting their knowledge into implementation here? And we get a lot of those, excuses and the procrastination and the piece of, well, it's got to be perfect, or I got to get this done right, or, whatever the case, all right. And some of them just immediately jumped straight to the blame phase. And that's the ultimate failure piece. I don't have time, or my work schedule's been crazy, or I'm trying to balance a full-time job. And it's like, okay, you and, 99% of other entrepreneurs out there are balancing more than one thing at a time. That's a whole other point right there. But really remember that it shows your confidence in your own self when you embrace and say, hey, it's done. I know it could be better, and it's way better. Done is better than perfect. So let me just get it done. Then I can work and strive and get to perfection, which brings up my final point. Changes can be made indefinitely. Just because you do something today, just because you put something out, you run a marketing campaign and it's like, okay, cool, I got it done, but it wasn't perfect. Great. You got it out, you get some results back. Adjust, redo it again, shift, make it happen, right? Change it up. Learn from what did I screw up the first time? What could I have done better? Perfect example of this. TopResultsConsulting.com, our website. When Roger and I put it together, when we decided to merge forces, come together and launch everything under this big umbrella brand of Top Results Consulting, We had to quickly throw a website out there so that we could start to get stuff. The problem, we already had some clients coming in and we had a lot of leads coming in. We just had nothing to drive them to or nothing to show them on our calls. So we just had to hurry up and put something together. And there was part of it where he wanted it a certain way and I was okay with some things and he was trying to work on this and I wanted this to add that. And finally we just had to commit, the two of us, like, here is the bare bones basic. This is what needs to get out there so that we can be rocking and rolling. Now, after that's done, now let's take a look at it. And consistently, since the inception of that site, we've constantly been re-looking at it, adding to it, adjusting, tweaking, changing, removing, whatever the case is, right? Because once something is done, now it's easier to make some changes to it. These episodes, right? This studio, this set that you guys see if you're watching this on YouTube, and even if you're listening to it on iTunes or Spotify or Google Play or wherever that is out there on the podcast worlds, just the sound of it, I never had, at the very beginning, I didn't have all this fancy equipment. I didn't have this really nice studio set up right here to do what I'm doing now today. But I didn't let that stop me from making it happen, right? We all have, I'll dig it out, so I got it in my pocket right here. We all have one of these, a smartphone. And heck, the camera on this smartphone is probably just as good, or if not, possibly even better than that Canon DSLR camera that's sitting 3 feet in front of me right now and doing it. And we can go on Amazon and you can get yourself a $10, $15, $20, $25 lavalier mic that plugs into this phone that's going to give you just as clear of audio as this high dollar microphone I got in front of me, or the fancy boom microphone that's up above me picking up a secondary sound as backup. You don't need all of this type of stuff to be able to even just start doing videos like this or audios like you guys are hearing here. We can do it and adapt and add on. And there's still other stuff that I want to do here in the studio that we don't have ready to go yet. But again, it's not stopping us from getting there. So you got to ask yourself, right? Go back to my second point. You got to ask yourself, A, are you confident in yourself enough to embrace this and say, hey, I'm going to embrace this done is better than perfect method, and realize that the reason I'm not seeing the success that I want to see is because I'm trying to make everything perfect, or I'm trying to wait for the perfect moment. That's another one. It's not even just about making it perfect. I'm trying to wait for the perfect moment to do something. You know, this video may or may not be coming out at the right time, meaning it may not hit. I could put it out today and it might do really well. Or I could question it and go, could this video be better if I would have just waited and did it at the beginning of the year or right at the end of the year, as everybody's reflecting and realizing, yeah, I gotta be better next year. Why let myself get sucked into that? Because all I'm going to do is continually push back and procrastinate, right? So the idea is, don't overthink. Don't question too much of the details. I'm saying this goes for when you've got enough knowledge on a topic, right? Many of you guys are entrepreneurs. You're trying to build a business. You're trying to generate leads. We know that if we do zero marketing, we're going to get no leads into our business. So if you've got a marketing campaign that you know enough about on how to get it out there, how to launch it, how to get it started. And if you don't, that's why I'm encouraging you to go get the secrets. TopResultsConsulting.com/secrets. Go download that report. We give you the 5 secrets to filling your funnel, to filling your business with nonstop leads. Where basically it's all mapped out in a resource. You can read through it and you know exactly what it is that you need to do. Now it's just up to you to do it, to take action, to put it to it. And that's exactly what we're talking about here today. Don't let the I don't know be the limiter in this. You can always go know. You can always go find out. You can always learn. Now, once you've learned it, That's where you got to ask yourself, do I have it? Did I learn enough? Great. I'm going to take action on what I learned. And it might not be right. It might not be perfect. And who cares? You did it. You took action. You put something out there. And then you adjust and you tweak. And if it's something that is a permanent thing that's out there, you update. If it's something that you're going to relaunch or redo or a different marketing campaign, then cool. You make adjustments before the second round of it. Matter of fact, a good friend of ours, somebody that I know pretty well, has got an online course. They're on the third version of the exact same course. Why? Because the first version was pretty good. Got some results, got some client feedback, redid some things because of that feedback, made out version number 2. After a year or so of version number 2, they started to realize that some of the ways that they were doing stuff was not in line with what they wanted to do as a business, and they needed to adjust that. Okay, cool. So they're on version number 3 now. In the meantime of all of that, they've made multiple 7 figures because they didn't let the it needs to be perfect the first time get in their way. So a reminder, if you need some help getting the marketing funnels going, if you need some help driving new leads to your business, if you need some help understanding what are the secrets behind getting non-stop leads and what is the framework, what is the foundation that I got to have in place that you can go take action on, go get the report. topresultsconsulting.com/secrets. Read it, but more importantly, take action. Take action on it. And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. The moral of this whole entire episode is literally just that. Nike says it best. Just do it. Do it. Do it again. Do it again. And do it again. And keep doing it and keep adjusting. And I promise you, if you stop overanalyzing, if you stop trying to make everything perfect right out of the gate the very first time, embrace the idea that perfection will never happen, and perfection is paralysis. Perfection is paralysis. Can't say that enough. You will see results. You will start to see something positive happen. With that being said, I wish you guys the best. Look forward to seeing you on a future episode. Be sure, subscribe to this show on YouTube, podcast, wherever the heck you're at. Go get that report. Follow us on Instagram at Top Results Consulting, at Shawn Tiberio. Hit us up on Facebook. Both of those are the same there. All this stuff will be linked up in the show notes. And until next time, here's to your success.